For thousands of years, we all wondered, what game would be the ultimate hat simulator? Finally, that game has been figured out. You know which one I'm talking about. The one that is on Steam, involves hats, more hats, even more hats? Hats on hats? I think my favorite was a hat on the Steam logo, which I find very funny that it was accidentally left in the game. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Team Fortress... Oh, sorry. My finger is on the script. What's the name of the game?
King of the Hat!
Get your keyboards out, because this game is gonna be fun. Good morning, Gam here. King of the Hat is a party game, where the goal is to step on your opponent's hat. If your hat gets stepped on, you die. However, it may seem simple, even though it's not. Let's boot up the game to see how it is. Okay, on second thought, let's get out your controller. Once you get into the game, you have a few options. You can play online by finding a friend and getting the super secret code from them. Once you do, you input that super secret code and then both of you can play online with each other. However, if somehow you manage to get someone in the same room, or want to play with bots, you can play offline. You can set the bot level up to level 10, but make sure you know that if you do, they are incredibly difficult to get their hat. Once you get into a game with either a friend or an enemy, or a bot, I mean hashtag bots have feelings too, you can move, jump around, basic stuff. However, here's the kicker. You can take the hat that is sitting right on top of your head and just toss it out. That's right, just toss the hat at your friend, or enemy, or a robot, yeah. When you throw it, the hat will be on fire, and hitting someone with the flaming hat will not only hurt, a lot, why would you do that to someone? But they will also get knocked back and drop their hat, except if it's Zoe. Right in time to stomp on that hat. Now, once you get your hat stomped on, you get sent back to the Shadow Realm. We don't want that, do we? You also have a competitive Smash player's favorite thing in the world. Items. And an off switch. Now, just to piss off all those competitive players and, also to stall for time, you are able to invert everyone's controls, make yourself invisible, give you 3 hats, which makes it so all of the hats must be stomped for you to get sent back to the Shadow Realm. Duplicates you, which uses the same controls for both players and makes it so both of them have to get their hats stomped before you get sent to the Shadow Realm. You can rain fire hats from the sky. Double your speed. You can summon a massive hat that will go from one side of the screen to the other, dealing damage to players as it goes. You can spawn balloons everywhere on the ground, which will float up and you can bounce off of them. They can also block hats. You can also summon a fire hat that will follow you and deal damage to any player it hits. It also does get removed if somebody hits it with a flaming hat. You can slow down all opponents, and you can spawn fiery bouncy hats that do get removed when they are hit by a flaming hat. You can set the item frequency to off, low, and high. And also, you can toggle specific items on or off. You don't want to go invisible, you don't have to. You don't want to be slowed down because somebody else just got lucky enough to have a power-up spawn right in front of them, you don't have to. You activate an item by smacking the item box with your hat and the effect will play out. There are also different lobby options to make the game even more fun. You can increase and decrease the game speed, which can result in hilarious outcomes. You can also turn teams on or off, so you can 3v1 against that one friend who is unnaturally good at the game. And you can switch between the 2 modes. You got Hat Hunters, it's a time-based mode. Whoever has stomped the most hats at the end of the time wins. And, funnily enough, if you get a stomp when the time is 0, it counts. This is really funny. If you do it when the game is tied, and you win, and you get to laugh at the person you just stomped. And there is Last Hat Standing, a mode where each round you get 1 life. If your hat is stomped on, you're out of that round. Whoever's hat is stomped on last is the winner of that round. The first one to win enough rounds is
King of the Hat!
This is also the only mode that competitive players play. Don't question it. You can also pick from a cast of different characters from birthday, whose birthday is today, and tomorrow, and the day after that, yesterday, to Gus and Buster, who are 2 hats on hats, all the way to what every game needs to have, an option to pick random. That's right, in this game you can pick random. Okay, I don't mean that the game picks a random character for you, I mean you pick random. Once you get bored of the PvP modes, you can move on to single player. There's the golf mode, where the goal is to get the hats to the hole in as few throws as possible. And also the arcade mode, where you pick a character and go on a variety of battles to beat the evil Fat Cat. Then, stuff happens. Everyone is free and happy. Except Fat Cat. You kinda just send them to the shadow. And if you manage to get bored of that somehow, then you are going to get challenged. Because there's a speedrunning seed around this game. Somehow. You can play the golf and arcade modes as fast as you can, both within any percent, and also, for golf there's a Beyond Perfect category, where you have to get every hole in as few shots as possible, which is incredibly difficult. The game is a lot of fun. I got it for free 2019 or so, I don't actually remember. I got it free when it was free on Discord for a while. The netcode in this game is also absurdly good. If it does not get any communication from one of the players, it will net pause the game until both players manage to reconnect. And it feels good, like the movement feels good, it's smooth, it's just a super fun game. It also saves tapes of the matches, so if a bug happens, you can send the tape off to the dev, and they can look at the tape, and they will have a really good chance of fixing it, because they have the tape. However, it is only possible for developers to read match tapes, which is annoying, yes. However, if you just open up a screen recorder and record the game, boom, there's a perfect copy of that, so you can play it back at any time. It's not so bad. The competitive scene for this game is also absurdly good at the game. I would say that I'm kinda decent at the game, however, you know, on the lower side of skill. There's some tech called a dragon throw, which, because Birthday can just move at like the same speed as the hat, their hitbox is just covered by the hat, which is protecting them or something. I don't know, it's complicated. Somebody who actually knows what they're talking about should explain this. I'm just an idiot. For just $19.99 US, King of the Hat can be in your Steam library. It will also eventually come to Nintendo Switch and other consoles as well. However, those are gonna happen later because that's a more complicated thing to do. Porting games is never an easy task. I completely recommend the game. It is so much fun and I cannot wait to play more of it. However, there's one more thing I'm curious about. I really don't know what an outro is.